Foot numbness nightmare. 3 vegetables making it worse. Last year, my daily walks became torture. The tingling in my feet grew so intense that I could barely make it around the block. At 58, I thought this was just part of getting older. My doctor ran tests, prescribed medications, but nothing helped. Then my nutritionist asked a simple question that changed everything. "What vegetables do you eat most often?" she asked. I proudly listed my daily favorites, thinking I was being healthy. Her expression changed immediately. "We need to talk about what you're putting in your body," she said seriously. Peripheral neuropathy affects over 20 million Americans, with symptoms worsening after age 55. Most people focus on diabetes or vitamin deficiencies as causes. However, certain vegetables can actually trigger inflammation that makes numbness and tingling significantly worse. The connection between diet and nerve health is more complex than most realize. Some vegetables contain compounds called oxalates, lectins, and solanines. These natural chemicals can interfere with nerve function and blood circulation when consumed regularly in large amounts. Spinach tops the list of problematic vegetables for people with foot numbness. While nutritious in many ways, spinach contains extremely high levels of oxalates. These crystals can accumulate in nerve tissues and blood vessels, creating inflammation that worsens neuropathy symptoms. Oxalates work by binding to minerals like calcium and magnesium in your bloodstream. When this happens, these essential minerals become unavailable for proper nerve function. Magnesium deficiency is particularly problematic because this mineral is crucial for nerve signal transmission. A study published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry found that people consuming high oxalate foods showed increased markers of oxidative stress in nerve tissues. Participants who reduced oxalate intake for 12 weeks experienced measurable improvements in nerve conduction tests. My personal experience with spinach was eye-opening. I was eating large spinach salads daily, thinking I was being incredibly healthy. Within 2 weeks of eliminating spinach from my diet, the burning sensation in my feet began to subside noticeably. Tomatoes present another hidden danger for people with neuropathy. These popular vegetables contain solanine, a compound that can trigger inflammatory responses in sensitive individuals. Solanine interferes with acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter essential for proper nerve function. Nightshade vegetables like tomatoes have been linked to increased inflammation in people with autoimmune conditions. While not everyone is sensitive to nightshades, those with existing nerve damage may find their symptoms worsen with regular consumption. Research from the Arthritis Foundation suggests that approximately 10 to 15% of people with inflammatory conditions experience symptom improvement when eliminating nightshades. For people with neuropathy, this percentage may be even higher due to the direct impact on nerve inflammation. I discovered my tomato sensitivity accidentally. After eliminating spinach, I still had persistent numbness. My nutritionist suggested removing tomatoes next. Within 10 days, the constant tingling that had plagued me for months began to fade significantly. Eggplant rounds out the trio of problematic vegetables. Like tomatoes, eggplant belongs to the nightshade family and contains solanine. However, eggplant also contains compounds called glycoalkaloids that can be particularly troublesome for nerve health. Glycoalkaloids can disrupt cell membrane function in nerve tissue. When nerve cell membranes don't function properly, signals become distorted or blocked entirely. This manifests as the numbness, tingling, and burning sensations characteristic of peripheral neuropathy. A clinical study in the European Journal of Pain found that participants who eliminated nightshade vegetables for 8 weeks showed significant improvements in pain scores and nerve function tests. The improvements were most pronounced in participants over age 50. The mechanism behind these vegetables' negative effects involves chronic low-grade inflammation. When you regularly consume foods that trigger inflammatory responses, your body remains in a constant state of alert. This chronic inflammation damages delicate nerve tissues over time. Inflammation affects nerve health by reducing blood flow to peripheral nerves. Decreased circulation means less oxygen and fewer nutrients reach nerve endings in your feet and hands. This creates a cycle where existing damage worsens and new damage occurs. Eliminating these vegetables doesn't mean sacrificing nutrition. Plenty of alternatives provide similar vitamins and minerals without the problematic compounds. Kale and Swiss chard offer many of spinach's benefits with lower oxalate content.